Okay, so Nathan isn't here right now, so I will be about 90% less interesting in terms of my articulation of words and the sort of inflections I make and just the general tone of my voice. But that's okay, probably. So we have enough gold for one final ranked draft of Throne of Eldraine, and then after that I might do a couple best of threes. I might do one and then see what my finish is in that, and then kind of base that on how I go next. I mean, I have more than enough for the Mastery Pass this season, so I might do two, even if I, scrub out and don't get any gems from either of my rewards. But for now, we'll try and turn some gold into gems here with a ranked draft. Okay. So we have an interesting decision point here. We have three excellent uncommons. All three of these are cards that I enjoy. Probably Edgewell Innkeeper is the one I like the most, honestly. It's got the best build-around nature, and I think that this format really pays you off for attempting to build around and increase synergy. I haven't been the best at that. I mean, I think that's partially why my last deck didn't perform as well as I wanted. The Simic deck doesn't have a ton of synergy, granted, so it's not like, the synergy of the Simic deck. It's just building big stuff. So I think the pick here is Edgewell Innkeeper, but the thing is, I could get 20 gems from taking the Castle Garenbrig, and on a free-to-play account, from what I've understood, is that making those picks, especially early on when you're not sure what you're doing with your picks, is pretty good. So I think I might do that here, just because this breeds as 20 gems, which, the win increase that I get from picking Edgewell Innkeeper probably isn't so stark that it's worth 20 gems to me. So I think I will take the Castle Garenbrig here. And I mean, if we play green, I'll put it in the deck, but if not, I won't. So, alright, so we have a couple cards here. Sire Alan the Lion's Claw. Great card. I mean, a 5-mana 4/4 first strike alone is quite excellent. It dodges Cauldron, which is pretty awesome. Fairy Vandal, great card, great build-around card. And I did just talk about building around. Resolute Rider, also really good. I'm pretty high on this card, honestly. I'm not sure if I like it more than I like Sire Alan, because as grindy as this card can be, Sire Alan is just so strong. None of the commons are particularly interesting. Man, this is tricky. Resolute Rider fits in an Orzhov, mono white or mono black deck. Sire Alan fits in, honestly, any white deck. I think it's good enough that even if you're playing something like, I don't know, white blue, that even white blue can go wide. But I think all of the white pairs, as much as I don't want to be in Boros, I'd be happy to take Sire Alan here. And I think it is enough. It's more flexible than Resolute Rider, but I think that they're equivalently powerful. So I think I'm going to take Sire Alan here. Well, Shepherd of the Flock, great card. The rescue effect is really good. I think it's better in less aggressive decks, although you would play it probably in any white deck for the most part. Frogify is fine removal. Order of Midnight is a good card too. An Outmuscle is pretty impressive. It might be better than Shepherd of the Flock. It's tough to say. I think there might be a tie between Shepherd and Outmuscle here. And granted that Shepherd is in our colors and Outmuscle is a little bit conditional. I mean, if you're in a deck that plays it, you're really happy, but I mean, it's not guaranteed. Order of Midnight is also good, but I think all said and done, Shepherd of the Flock being in our colors makes it the pick here. Okay, wow, another Outmuscle though. That's kind of, to me, that's a signal. It's a lot better than the other cards in this pack. Probably worse than Drown in the Loch if you're in the colors for Drown in the Loch, but we are not. So I think we'll take the Outmuscle here, and you know, like a green-white Selesnya deck is a fine sort of more aggressive strategy to be in, which, you know, Sire Allen likes to go wide, and Selesnya also likes to go wide. So happy to take an Outmuscle here. Giant Opportunity is not terrible, but if you're not, you know, we haven't picked any good food cards yet. So I think Outmuscle is just better. Okay, well, there's not a lot of very strong cards in this pack. Shine Chaser I'm not super interested in. I'm not sure that we're in like an artifact deck yet, and even if we are in an artifact enchantment deck, like this card isn't that impressive. Wintermoor Commander, on the other hand, would be quite strong. In a grindier Orzhov deck, you know, we saw some black pass around last time, so it's possible that maybe this is open. I think this card is strong enough that it could be a bit of a signal, certainly better than everything in the pack, so I'm going to take it here, because if I pass this up, you know, like, other than that, I might take Witching Well, but if I end up in a white-black Knights deck, I'll be way more upset that I passed this than I will be if I take Witching Well, or if I pass Witching Well and end up in, like, white-blue. So, I'll take that here. I think the pick here is Outflank. This is overperformed. I think I'm not usually impressed by these effects, but I feel like this, I'm not sure what it is. It might be because there's a lot of like small creatures, but I think Outflank usually does quite a good job of killing things, even though it's an extremely conditional sort of removal spell. It keeps us in, you know, white. I think it's better than everything in the pack. Sorcerer's Broom is kind of a build-around-y card, but we don't really have a lot of sacrifice as of right now. And Tempting Witch is, again, a synergistic card with a food deck, which we are not in. And Festa Funeral is pretty bad in my experience, so I think we'll take the Outflank here and see what we get. All right, some good stuff. I think Fairy Guidemother is awesome. It's in our colors. I think it coming this late is a signal. Sporecap Spider is a pretty good card too. I'm not sure if it's a signal from the bots. I was kind of suggesting it might be this late. I'm not sure if it is, but I think Fairy Guidemother is pretty reasonable to say it's a signal. And we've been getting so much white that I think it's reasonable to say that as well. Well, it's a pretty late Joust. I really don't want to be in Boros. Gosh. But if we do end up in Boros for some reason, with Thrill of Possibilities open, Joust is an amazing, well, I should say it's an amazing card. It's good with Knights, but it's kind of underperformed because most Knights are pretty low power, so giving them one toughness and then not giving them like First Strike or something, or I guess First Strike wouldn't apply to a fight, but you know, giving it any sort of way to giving it real survivability for a fight effect is really not that good, because I mean, it's sorcery speed too, so you can't really do any cheeky things with like a chump block either. I don't think Righteousness is very good. Maybe Memory Theft? No, I don't think Memory Theft is that good. I think it's quite situational, and in Best of One, I'm not too excited about it. I know I have the Wintermoor Commander, so I would like to get into maybe black. I will take the Joust here and see. Memory Theft is very replaceable. Joust is less so. Well, I got a Brimstone Trebuchet, although we have Foreboding Fruit as well. I think foreboding fruit again. I want to okay. So personally, I would rather be in white black than white red. Brimstone Trebuchet is a good card. It has good, it has reach, but then also reach because you can ping your opponent out. I think I'll take the foreboding fruit here. We're in pick 9, huh? So that means that the relentless knight didn't wheel, which is not too surprising. But I think that maybe we'll see some black in pack 3. So I'm going to take this here. I don't really want to be in Boros. It's not my comfort zone, so I'm not super jazzed about it. Forever Young, super happy about. Curious Pair, kind of late. I mean, it's not an amazing card, but maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, let's just move these out of here for now. True Love's Kiss or Festive Funeral. I think if we're playing a grindier, like, white-black deck, True Love's Kiss might actually not be too bad. It's very expensive to be playing it in, like, the Boros deck. But I think in a deck that wants to go a little bit longer, possibly, True Love's Kiss can be very nice, because there's a lot of strong artifacts. I think this is main deckable. It is pretty cuttable if you get a lot of playables, but it is also not something I'm ashamed to main deck in best of 1 right now. And then Festive Funeral, again, doesn't seem to really perform, in my opinion. I don't see this doing a lot, but I mean, it is removal of creatures, and it's possible that we have a lot of low toughness creatures that will die early on, so maybe I'm coming around on the Festive Funeral. I think they both might be kind of equivalently strong. I think I'm going to take the True Love's Kiss here, and just see how that plays for us. Beloved Princess, probably. Well, we could have white cards that have artifact payoffs. I don't think Beloved Princess is very good at all. Maybe if I had if I had some equipments or something to pump her up. The only way to increase the power of my creatures is currently Sire Allen, and making it a 2/2 is not that interesting. So I think I actually will take the Signpost. I don't know if this is very cuttable as well, but it might get played. Nothing Gargoyle is not going to get played. Ultimate Stock, not going to get played. Oh, good. A rare that I want to take. This also nets me some gems, so I might consider it here. Glass Casket might be the pick. Otherwise, Ardenvale Tactician is also excellent. Scalding Cauldron is pretty good. Reaper of the Night might be good, because it seems like we're trying to do something with black. But I think for a best of 1, or for a free-to-play, from a free-to-play perspective, I'm happier to take Gadwick here. I'm not too upset about missing out on Glass Casket. If in a grindier deck, it's a better card, but I think I will miss 20 gems more than I'll miss this, See what we get next. Okay, so. Oh, Inspiring Veteran, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Inspiring Veteran's very good if you're in a an aggressive White-Red Knights deck. Let me see how many. The thing is, the only white knight I have is Sire Allen. I could, of course, prioritize knights going forward, but it might not be good enough, considering how few knights I picked. But I also could just start going really deep on knights. Flutterfox is also strong. Spin Swordmaster, I'm not super, but again, it's like a knight thing. Gosh, Cauldron Familiar is pretty strong. I mean, if I were to get like a Witch's Oven, that'd be awesome. I don't think I can deny the power of Inspiring Veteran. And if I see red knights open in this pack, I might have to abandon my black picks. But I think this is probably correct. God. See, I shouldn't have made any comment about not wanting to play Boros, because here I am now. Occam Ranger is, I think, quite good. Fierce Witchstalker, that's third pick. Fierce Witchstalker is not bad. But I think the Occam Ranger, we're probably going to be mostly white in whatever color we pick. And I think that makes this a good card. Makes me want to prioritize white cards as well going forward. So we'll see what I get. Like a Silver Flame Squire. Although Silver Flame Squire isn't a knight, Ogre Errant is quite good. I mean, Ogre Errant is the sort of thing that really helps you push damage through if you've reached a bit of a slowing in your deck. Then again, it's not white. This is a pretty decent combat trick. I just got the Occam Ranger. I'm pretty heavy white. I got 2 double white cards. I think maybe Silver Flame Squire is still better than the Ogre Errant in this case. And we shall see. Reaper of the Night. I actually don't even mind if we were playing black. But we're kind of now not sure anymore. Well, the white cards suck. I'm not a fan. None of these are knights. I'm kind of actually a fan of the Giant Skewer, honestly. And if we kind of maybe ignore you, we can take it here. It's a fine. It's really slow, but I think it's not terrible. We shall see. None of the other cards are really playable in my books, so. Wow, Tournament Crowns. I think Tournament Crowns is pretty good. Although, again, I keep forgetting that we don't really have that many knights yet, so we can only use it with Giant Skewer, Winterborn Commander, Occam Ranger, and it's not nothing. Sire Allen. That's not nothing, and it might be enough to take it here. None of the other cards are really that exciting, and having value out of the land slot is fine. I think I might take it here. I don't think it's very good, but depending on how we... Wow, that's a late Mysterious Pathlighter. That's great. Yeah, definitely going to take this here. It's not particularly close. Great signal that white is still open, which I'm into. I think I'll take the Silver Flame Squire here. I like it more than like second Foreboding Fruit, for example, and I think this effect is better in our deck. It's a good combat trick that can help us trade, or not trade, but kind of kill stuff early and then kind of crash in. Probably Prize Grifton. It's a fine top-end card. As I said, the white-black deck is a little slower, so a 5-drop isn't horrendous, and that card can, in some matchups, do a lot of work. Flutterfox here, I think we have not a ton. We have like... We have 1, potentially 2. I'm not upset with playing this as just a 2/2 for 2. It's probably better than the other cards here. Maybe not Armed Flank. Let me see my curve really quick before, though. I want to make sure that I'm not... Well, we have a lot of things on turn 2. It's possible that Outflank might be better, just because, again, I've kind of been impressed by how well this actually does perform. Although, let me count my creatures really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we had more, if we had more like artifacts and enchantments, I would probably snap this up right now. But Outflank might be better in our current deck because we only have 2 things that make this flying, and it's fine on a base level. But to make me consider this better than just kind of like a base, kind of just a very generic 2/2, I would need to have more artifacts. So maybe it is Outflank. I think Outflank does do pretty well. Yeah, okay. Now I got a Thrill of Possibility, a Brimstone Trebuchet, Skullknocker Ogre, and the Eye Collector. I don't think we play Eye Collector, but I'm trying to, again, as I mentioned, trying to stay away from red, even with tournament grounds, because this is not a knight. It is a knight card, but it is not a knight. I mean, if we get like another tournament grounds, I actually might play Inspiring Veteran in the main board, or yeah, in the deck at all. That'd be kind of interesting. Which, if that's the case, I'd be happy to have this card. Whereas the Eye Collector, I probably won't even play, despite being black. Because again, if I can, I'm trying to lean pretty white for that Occam Ranger being quite good. So I'll take the Brimstone for now. See where it goes. Thrill of Possibility is fine. That's a really late Merfolk Secret Keeper. Maybe they haven't fixed it, and I just haven't seen Merfolk Secret Keepers in this in like the 7 or 8 drafts that I've done on Arena. Alright, Castle Lochthwain's pretty good. Bognati's not bad, but we don't have food synergies for anything other than this Giant Skewer, so I don't think I'm going to take it here. We're definitely not playing Keeper of Fables. Covetous Urge is not good enough. Castle Lochthwain, honestly, it might be the best pick. Barrow Witches is fine, but we don't have a ton of knights. Maybe the fact that we don't have a ton of knights means that even if we can, we don't play Inspiring Veteran. I think Castle Lochthwain, it's fine. I think it might be the best of the... maybe Vantress is better. But I think the Castle Lochthwain is fine, because if we kind of flood the board and then we're kind of trying to push some damage through, maybe, I'm happy about this. And I don't think I need, like, Barrow Witches. I don't have enough knights for Barrow Witches to be really crazy. Well, Spinning Wheel, Deathless Knight, fine cards. Deathless Knight, obviously, we can't really play, despite the fact that it is a knight. Because we are not black enough currently. And Bake into a Pie is just really good. Even if we're doing like a mostly white deck, we'll probably still run enough swamps that Bake into a Pie will be not dead in our hand. So I will definitely take it here. Well, that's great. Fireborn Knight, excellent card, especially in our mostly white deck. Happy to play it here. Very good card. Very happy to see it now. Slot you. Oh, wow. I mean, it's a rare. You can't play it. So that's probably why it's here. Fairy Guide Mother is probably good enough that I should be disciplined and not just rare draft to sort of, you know, work towards getting gems. Because I've already rare drafted twice. The second time more egregious than the first. Fairy Guide Mother, making a creature fly and having a 2/1 stat boost is pretty good. Like, that is something. I mean, you put it on Fireborn Knight, man, that is nasty. So I think I will kind of pass on the Iron Crag feat here. And go for the Lucky Clover. Let me just quickly do a check. It's got 1. It's really good with this. Okay with Shepherd of the Flock. There might be situations where you don't want to bounce. Silverflame Squire, excellent with Silverflame Squire. Occam Ranger, it's fine. It's good, but I think Fairy Guide Mother is probably still the better pick here. We don't have like broken effects. You know what is awesome is this effect, and then playing like if we have Mysterious Pathlighter out, playing a 2/2 flying. That's quite meaningful in our deck. We're still going to bend pretty aggressive, even though we're playing white-black. Okay, well, Rally for the Throne's pretty good. It's not like amazing, but nothing in this pack is like crazy. We have a Prize Griffin, and it's probably not good enough to play 2. We're gonna, be mostly white, so potentially we'll be casting this for Adamant, but I'm not super upset if we don't. So it's kind of a decent card that, with our go wide payoffs of Occam Ranger and Sire Allen, that's pretty awesome. So I think it's the correct pick here. Lonesome Unicorn's great. It's good to see it coming this late. I mean, Knight, So it has our fun little, our very few night synergies. It pays off. But it's just a good card anyways. So I will pick that here. Sorcerer's Broom. Do we have sacrifice stuff to kind of make that a cheesy thing? It's pretty slow, so I'm not super excited to do that. No, we have like no sacrifice other than like, you know, the food that we might make off of foreboding fruit. Well, almost never off foreboding fruit, let's be honest. And giant skewer, which isn't great, but nothing in this pack really is. Play another giant skewer. Might be better than the Sorcerer's Broom. Because we don't have a, it's really a build around card, and we don't have a good deck to build around it. Equipment's, yeah, maybe the giant skewer. Maybe for the equipment, I mean like slapping equipment on a flyer, Fireborn Knight's amazing. That might be a way that our deck kind of closes. I don't know if I'll play both, but I think I'll definitely, I would play a second giant skewer before I play the first Sorcerer's Broom in our deck. So, might play the Golden Egg. Golden Egg helps you cast Adamant, honestly. Like if we're, you know, we got a few double black cards. We got like Bacon to the Pie. It might help us cast Bacon to the Pie when we really need it. It could really honestly help us play some of these 4-color cards. We are, again, almost totally white. We might even try cutting like we might try cutting like even a few of the black cards we do have, and I've only kept ones that I think are good enough. Well, Giant Skewer isn't really that good, but Urnvale Paladin isn't that crazy. I think the fact that it, like, fixing our mana in some ways is probably going to be quite powerful. If we're trying to play, you know, if we do try and go like 11-6 or 11-5, and then we try and play Golden Egg. I think Golden Egg might actually get some use here. I'll probably take a spin Swordmaster now. I think I might have picked enough knights to kind of make it something. Oh, maybe I haven't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not quite that good. And again, it's a black card, so we're not super interested in it. As it probably is not as good as Urnvale Paladin in our deck. It's a fine card. I mean, we can throw a if we keep Giant Skewers in the deck, this is a fine thing to throw a Giant Skewer on. I don't like any of these cards. I doubt I'll play Weapon Rack, but I think I'll play it before. Well, Shining Armor. I doubt we really do much with this. We don't have a ton of knights, but again, it's the closest thing we'll play. Hengewalker, I don't know if we play it. Again, we might not be. You might have to really be mono white to make that good, because like a 3/3 for 3 is like fine, but a 2/2 for 3 is terrible. None of these getting played. I doubt Beloved Princess gets played. Okay, so my 40 gems that I greedily drafted for. Time will tell if that really makes me scrub out 3-0 for not taking like the glass casket or something. We shall see. I wasn't really sure. It seemed like green was kind of open. You know, I saw some Outmuscles and I saw some Fierce Witchstalkers, so I'm a little bit worried that maybe I should have taken green as a second color. And kind of mentally going back through the draft right now, I think that might actually have been the case. But I don't think our deck is horrible and unplayable by any stretch. So I'm not too concerned. We have to make one cut. Well, actually, maybe. Well, yeah, we might actually play 17 lands in this deck because we got a lot of like 4 drops. This isn't really the most aggressive strategy. It kind of looks like we might try and do some damage early on, and then using like Fairy Guide Mothers maybe, or you know, Giant Skewers on big creatures, or like flying creatures, like try and close that way. Signpost Scarecrow feels like the obvious cut, but if I just quickly do this and then go, now do I play the Tournament Grounds? Tournament Grounds might not actually make the cut because not really use for it. You know, it's like as good as a swamp. You know, like we'd rather have a swamp than it, because if we don't have a white man in play, we'll be, you know, we'll be wanting a, or if we have white man in play, what we'll want is black, and it only helps us cast for Giant Skewer and Wintermore Commander, and playing a swamp already does that. So really you want it when you have like enough knights or equipments that it'll be like really, really consistent as a dual land. Or you're playing 3 colors, you're playing Mardu Knights and you have like 3 copies of the Training Grounds. So, and I actually don't think I'm going to go down to 16. We don't have a ton of like card draw. We currently have like Golden Egg, Forever Young, but that's not, I don't really think of that as a card draw spell that much. Foreboding Fruit, which I think I will keep. I don't care if we don't get the food most of the time. If we do, it's gravy, but I'm pretty happy to play like a slightly bad divination. Heart of Eldraine, I think we'll honestly often get Adamant on it. It only requires, you know, 3, not 4. Oh, I guess I'm thinking about it. I think I'm realizing that all Adamant cards actually ask for 3 of the color. Yeah, I don't think there's Adamant cheaper than that. Oh, I guess that's the mechanic. Oh yeah, says right up there. Now, what's the purpose of keeping Signpost Scarecrow? It's a pretty lame defensive threat. I can, for the tax of 1 mana, pay or get a different color of mana. But since we're 2 color, even though we're, you know, more heavy one color than the other, I don't honestly think we'll be, like, the only thing that's like might be tricky at some points might be Bake into a Pie, because it's double black, but it's also a card that we want to kind of save because we don't have like so much removal that we're just trying to spew it off. So by the time we want to really use this, it might be like, I don't know if we'll need to be paying a tax. We might just have 2 swamps. So let's take that out for now, at least. As per usual, I'll kind of just percolate on the deck. I won't play it right away. Actually not that upset with the Giant Skewers again. Like, be a little bit grindy. I think it's a good way to close. Again, we have like 1, so we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have like 6, even this 7, kind of. We'll call it 6.5. We have like 6.5 cards where if we slap a Giant Skewer on it, like, we feel awesome. You know, we got First Strike, we got Flying, we got Double Strike, we got Flying, you know? Like, I think that the Giant Skewer is slow, but I don't think our deck is like blisteringly fast. It'll be kind of like, I think where we're hoping to be is kind of punishing really dirtily decks, and then maybe being able to kind of like hold out and kind of survive a like a more aggressive strategy. Because like we beat aggro, I think we can beat super dirtily decks. I think our biggest weakness is like mid-rangey decks that get a lot of value and also commit to the board, so we can't attack through just that easily. And forever, yeah, Giant Skewer can kind of help with that. At any rate, for now, this is what we're going with. I might make changes later, but I reference it in the notes. So, yeah, call that good. Maybe before we play, I might pop off the best of 3 draft and do that draft before I play either. I might wait a little later for that, depending on how, you know, if I want to play or if I want to draft later when I come back. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, hopefully this deck does all right. Go me for not just forcing blue.